Have you ever been in the middle of an argument? Your chest burning, every word charged with conviction, ready to finally defend yourself, and then suddenly, your vision blurs? That tight, familiar lump rises in your throat. Your voice starts to shake, and before you can stop it, tears spill over. You're not sad. You're angry. Deeply, intensely furious. You're frustrated, but your body seems to be following a script you didn't approve. And the moment the other person notices, their entire expression shifts. They assume you're falling apart. They assume you're being dramatic. Some might even respond with that dismissive question. Why are you crying? It's not that serious. And suddenly, the anger isn't the hardest part anymore. The humiliation is. You feel betrayed by your own body in the exact moment you wanted to appear strongest. You feel like a child throwing a tantrum, even though all you wanted was to show up as a calm, capable adult. And if you know this feeling, here's something most people never get told. There is another way to see yourself. We're taught that crying during conflict means we're fragile, that it exposes some flaw, some weakness, that it proves we can't handle pressure. But what if the truth is the opposite? You don't cry because you lack strength. You cry because you care more deeply than most people ever will. Others stay composed in an argument because they're only halfway present, emotionally detached, already stepping back. But you? You step in fully, completely, unapologetically invested. You operate at 150% because you care about truth, connection, fairness, meaning. And that intensity shows. Anything running at 150% is going to generate heat, a tremendous amount of it. And that's why today, we're breaking down what actually happens when anger turns into tears. We're going to explore why your body tries to cool you down the moment your emotional temperature spikes, and you'll learn subtle, invisible tools to stay grounded and stay in control. But to understand your tears, we need to step back from psychology for a moment and look at the biology behind it. Picture a marathon runner. When they push into a sprint, their muscles fire intensely, their body temperature skyrockets. If they get too hot, their system risks shutting down. So the body does what it must. It sweats. It releases moisture to cool the surface of the skin and stabilize the internal temperature. And when you see a runner drenched in sweat, you don't think they're weak. You think they're working hard. And their body is doing exactly what it's designed to do. Angry tears work the same way. They're emotional sweat. During a high-stakes conflict, your nervous system is sprinting. Your body enters a heightened physiological state. Your attention sharpens, stress rises, passion intensifies. Your brain senses that this internal heat, both emotional and physical, is reaching a critical threshold. So to protect you, it flips on a built-in cooling system. It activates the parasympathetic nervous response, the rest and reset mode. It releases chemicals like acetylcholine to slow your heart and calm your system. And the most visible side effect of this cooling process is tears. So the next time your eyes fill, pause before judging yourself. Your body is simply preventing burnout. Remind yourself, you're not falling apart. You're emotionally sweating. Your body is cooling down an overheated engine so you can keep going. But there's another layer people rarely talk about. Your body isn't just regulating you. It's trying to protect your life. In those moments, you might feel like your own biology is betraying you, like it's sabotaging your argument. But imagine this instead. Your body is an ancient, overprotective bodyguard, one that loves you fiercely, but is extremely old-fashioned. To this bodyguard, every conflict, even a tense conversation with a partner, friend, or boss, looks like a life-or-death confrontation with a saber-toothed tiger. So when the tension spikes, your bodyguard panics on your behalf. It thinks, this is getting dangerous. The aggression is rising. If this continues, we could get hurt. And in a split second, it steps in front of you. It forces the tears. Not to embarrass you, but because of something fascinating in our evolutionary wiring. Human tears contain a chemical signal, an invisible pheromone. When someone sees or senses tears, their testosterone drops, and their aggression instinctively decreases. Your tears act like a biological blanket, sending a message that says, back off, lower the intensity, stop attacking. Your body isn't undermining you. It's interrupting a fight it believes you might lose. It's making sure you survive long enough to try again tomorrow. So, you can quietly acknowledge your bodyguard. Thank you for trying to protect me. I'm safe. I don't need this shield right now. Now we shift into the practical toolkit. You're going to learn specific techniques to steady yourself in these moments. But before we begin, here's something important. When you're in the middle of an angry cry, the prefrontal cortex, the thinking, decision-making part of your brain, often shuts down. You're running on adrenaline. So you won't remember every strategy, and that's okay. You don't need all of them. Just choose one, whichever feels easiest and most natural to you, and master that. You don't need to be a superhero. You just need one solid trick you can rely on. These tools come in 3 levels depending on where you are in the emotional storm. Let's start with level 1. These are invisible tools. Quiet, subtle, nearly undetectable. You can use them when you're alone, stewing over an email, or in a conversation when the emotional heat rises but no one else has noticed. The first one is the lookup technique. This is a simple physiological hack. The moment you feel tears forming, lift your chin. Look at the ceiling, the top of the wall, or the highest edge of a shelf. Looking down signals inward emotion to your brain. Looking up signals alertness and external awareness. It helps hold the tears back, and neurologically it tells your bodyguard, we're still alert, we're still here, we're not shutting down. If that isn't enough, try the math hack. The limbic system, the emotional center, shares blood supply with the prefrontal cortex, the logical center. They work like a seesaw. When one increases, the other must decrease. So activate the logical side. Choose a specific math problem. Not something simple like 2 plus 2, but 100 minus 7, then 93 minus 7, then 86 minus 7, and so on. It is neurologically impossible to stay at peak emotional intensity while performing complex arithmetic. You're redirecting blood flow away from the crying response. And if you feel yourself drifting out of your body, losing your sense of control, use sensory grounding. Anchor yourself in the present moment. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This pulls you out of the internal storm and back into reality. But sometimes, the emotional wave is too strong. The invisible tricks don't hold, and you're moments away from breaking down. In that moment, you need an exit that doesn't feel like retreat. You need a strategic pause. The simplest version is the water break. If your voice is shaking, say calmly, I'm going to get a glass of water. I'll be right back. This isn't running away, it's strategy. Here's why. When you sip slowly, the act of swallowing relaxes the glottis, the muscle responsible for that choking, trembling sound. It resets the spasm, steadies your voice, and gives you a quiet minute to shake out your hands, release adrenaline, sip, breathe, reset your throat, and return to the room on your own terms. Finally, we reach the hardest scenario, when the tears have already fallen. The other person is watching you now. Shame begins to creep in, and if you're in this moment, hold on to one rule: do not apologize. Don't say you're sorry. Don't call yourself a mess. All that does is convince your brain you've done something wrong, and you haven't. Instead, you're going to label what's happening and gently redirect the moment. Give them clarity so they don't misinterpret you. You can say, these are tears of frustration, not sadness. Or, I care deeply about this topic, so my body is reacting. Please ignore the tears. I'm still here, and I want to continue this conversation. When you do this, you reclaim something essential: your agency. You're saying, my biology is reacting, but I'm still the one in charge. There is a quiet, undeniable dignity in that. To cry and still speak your truth is not weakness. It is courage. This takes time. There will be days when the tears come before you can stop them, and that is okay. Be gentle with your protective bodyguard. It's doing its best. Don't add shame to anger. Your ability to feel this deeply, to be invested, passionate, attuned, is also the source of your insight, your empathy, your sensitivity, and your power. You are never weak. You are simply a high-performance engine that sometimes runs a little hot. So the next time the tears rise, pause, look up, breathe, and remember, even your tears are proof that you are vividly, unapologetically alive.